Outstanding is the word to describe the comeback made by the Gadsden Tigers this season. Scott Griffin reports on this rags to riches story.
The playoffs aren't a new experience for the Gadsden Tigers. In fact, they've gone to the postseason in the 3 years under Coach Vince DiLorenzo. But this season has become an adventure Steven Spielberg might be interested in. Gadsden High School was 1-5 with 3 games left in the regular season. Then they became area champions and are now ready for the state championship Friday night. This resurrection includes a 7-game win streak, which began with Tiger assistant coaches giving confidence to DiLorenzo, who then passed it on.
I came out here and said, fellas, you know, if we lose this game, our season's over as far as getting in the playoffs. I'm not going to quit. You're not going to quit. Let's work hard starting today, and let's get ready to play. And I think maybe that kind of said, you know, kicked them in the butt a little bit, and they said, all right, you know, coach still believes we can play. Maybe we can.
DiLorenzo has learned his lesson of positive thinking well. Now he's on a kick that makes Norman Vincent Pill look pessimistic.
It's 1,000% in winning is believing you can win. I told our players, I think we try to mentally prepare ourselves all week, but especially Thursday and Friday, because I believe, and I talk to our fans, them pulling for us, I believe in vibrations. I believe in the mind overcoming anything. And I'm a firm believer in if you think you can, then you're going to do some things that probably normally you shouldn't be able to do.
Gadsden's fantasy can become reality Friday night against the Homewood Patriots in the 5A state championship. I'm Scott Griffin, 13 Sports.
Well, good evening, everybody. To the surprise of many people, the Gadsden High Tigers will be playing for a state championship Friday night. Chuck Strickland paid a visit to Etowah County, and he has this report for you on the Tigers.
When a high school football team finishes the regular season with 5 losses, most people would say you have little chance for success in the playoffs. Gadsden High has defied the odds, though, carving out a perfect postseason slate. Tiger head coach Vince DiLorenzo talked about the change in his team.
Well, I don't think you could point to any one thing as being the factor that turned us around, but I think it was a combination of things. I think the fact that we won the games that we won starting back in the 4th quarter that told our players if we'll stay in the football game and not make any mistakes, that we won't beat ourselves. I think we were beating ourselves when we were losing the 5 in a row. I think also we had some luck. The last 7 games, and I think it takes a little bit of luck if you're going to be successful. I think we prepared awfully hard. I think maybe if we'd done anything differently, we've prepared better the last 7 games than we did the first 6.
Obviously, all of Gadsden's playoff wins have been extremely important, especially last Thursday's upset of highly touted Pell City. Now it's down to a single game to determine the 5A state champion. DiLorenzo knows Friday night's battle with Homewood is going to be tough.
They're an excellent football team. They wouldn't be any other way to get this far. I think they deserve to be here. I think we deserve to be here also. I think it's going to be very similar to our last 7 ball games. If we'll eliminate our mistakes and play well, prepare well, both mentally, physically, and emotionally, and play hard, I think we'll have a chance to win. And it may just be a chance, and we may win it like we won all the others, and that is in the 4th quarter with a last-second play. But I think our players are confident, and I think they realize especially what type of effort it will take to win. You know, it's not going to be easy. They're not going to give it to us. Our players have been totally exhausted the last 7 weeks. After every game, they've had to drag themselves off the field, but if they gave anything less than that, we wouldn't have won.
The Tigers and Patriots will play for it all Friday night, 7:30 at Murphy Stadium. In Gadsden, Chuck Strickland.
The 5A State High School Football Championship from Gadsden's Jack Murphy Stadium. Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Roy, along with David Vaughn, getting set for tonight's contest where the Homewood Patriots, ranked number 8 in the state in 5A before the playoffs, will take on Gadsden, who started the 2nd season with a losing record. But now they're 8-5, and they have won 7 in a row. They're on a roll. Homewood, meanwhile, the last of 2 years, has won 16 games on the road. That is an incredible mark.
Well, just taking the traveling show on the road again. You know, those white jerseys have been good to us, and it's like the kids seem to get up for the game. They have a long bus ride, get their heads straight. Looks like they've come out tonight real fired up, and like I say, it's glad to have you back with us tonight. I know everybody's excited about this one. Homewood brought a lot of fans with them. Just expect a great 5A state final.
It's going to be a great game, and certainly both these teams are not the real spectacular ones, but they are teams that get the job done. Gadsden's been able to play great football in the fourth quarter and have pulled more than one game out of the fire. In fact, almost all 7 of the games in their winning streak have been won in the final few minutes.
Well, you know, it just gives those Gadsden boys a lot of confidence. If they can stay in the game, they feel like in the fourth quarter it's theirs. They pick up momentum through the game. Their defense plays real tough defense. They got a 4-4 defense, and that's what we saw last week against Eufaula. So linemen ought to be schooled in their blocks, and I'm sure they're going to try Gadsden will try some things different, because Eufaula, their 4-4 defense just let us control the ball, running the ball, and that's what we're going to have to do tonight.
Okay, well, right now you saw the coin toss, which had Homewood kicking off. They'll be going left to right. Gadsden will be going right to left in their orange uniforms, orange helmets, and the black pants. Homewood with their traveling white with the red numbers and the New England Patriot-style helmets. Under Coach Gerald Gann, a record of 12-2. And Homewood looking for a state championship for the first time in 12 years, going back, of course, to 1974. In the pregame show, you said you didn't play a major role on the team. What role did you play?
Well, I'd sing Turn Out the Lights when I got to play. You know, that's when I usually got in the game. But no, seriously, that year we had 42 players on the team, and it was unique in that all 42 players played every game. If you dressed out, you were guaranteed that you were going to get in the game, and it pretty much brought us closer together, and everybody had something to do with it. And we had our 10-year reunion, and that was a lot of fun. Let's just hope this year's team can experience that.
Steve Gray getting ready to kick the ball off at the 40-yard line. This game is just about set to get underway. Back deep is Bobby Avery. He'll be number 41 as he comes into your screen. That's taken instead by a backup wide receiver, John Massey, and he's up the sideline. Finally ran out of bounds, and they are going to mark the ball at about the 44-yard line. Check it, call it the 42. Massey getting the ball at about his own 18, so that's a return of 24 yards. First down and 10 for the Tigers. Now they're saying that Massey stepped out of bounds a while earlier. They're going to bring it back to the 35. That's where they go first and 10. David Taylor is the quarterback of the Tigers. He of the late game heroics. Very tight offensive formation. Slot left. Callaway and Holt stick of the running backs. And Taylor wants to throw on first down. Gets it away. It is complete. Caught at the 41-yard line. Making a diving catch, Larry Baker. That's going to be a pickup of 5, call it 5.5. It's going to be second down and 4.
Well, starting off with a pass there, looked like the defensive line was doing a good job getting in the backfield. He hurried the throw, made him underthrow it. Going to need that pass rush all night tonight.
Olstead comes to the sideline right now. Darrence Hewley is the other running back. He is the one to the top of your screen. The man in motion is Duncan Castleberry. Taylor goes back, throws to the sideline. Castleberry's there. He's got the first down, and he is out to about the 48-yard line. So the Tigers come out throwing the ball here against Homewood in the first quarter. We'll set the Patriots for you defensively. Chris Gray is the left defensive end, wears number 88. Eric Roy and Jeff Gree of the tackles as Brian Moss is out. Chris Rebels, the nose guard, number 64. You'll see a lot of him tonight. Charlie Gordon on the right defensive end. Linebackers are Jody Brandt and Chris Zaragoza. The cornerbacks are Scott Smith and Bobby Greer. The safeties, Brian Gennard and Larry McKenzie. First down and 10 for the Tigers. 10:50 to go first quarter. Taylor, quick screen out to the near side. On the catch, going to the sidelines, Baker. Baker bumped out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. It is a pickup of about 6 yards. Call it now second down and 4. And so far, the Tigers have been able to control the ball via the air.
They've been in the air every down, and I think that's a compliment to the Homewood defense. You know, teams, we hadn't really faced passing teams, or they hadn't had much success with the pass because they don't try it. They try running. So I think the coaches have seen Chris Rebels, Jim Bullock, Chris Gray, and they have to go to the air to get any early success.
Split out to the right side will be John Massey for the Tigers, and Castleberry's going to go in motion again. Taylor facing a 4-man rush. to the sideline, a high throw, and Castleberry unable to get it. Helping out on the coverage that time for Homewood was Robert Morgan. They bring in Morgan, number 82, when they're concerned about speed. As you see him go back to the huddle, he's a very quick pursuer and certainly a player that Coach Gerald Gann's going to look more out of next year.
Being a junior, he's really had a great year this year. Moved into Homewood, first year here, and as you said, his speed, he is the speed on the Homewood defense, and looks like he'll be in for a lot of playing time since Gadsden hadn't put the ball on the ground yet.
Third down and 4. Taylor hands off. Callaway on the first carry, gets inside the 40-yard line. They're going to mark it at about the 35. Rodney Callaway, a 5'9", 190-pound junior, caught a seam off the block of the right guard, Arthur English. First down and 10 for Gadsden. Up front for the Tigers, it's J.D. McDuffie, the son of one of the Tiger assistant coaches. David Partridge, the left guard. Clint Ray, the center. Arthur English, the right guard, and Andrew Roberts, the right tackle. The first running play, a very successful one. Man on the go is Massey. Taylor will roll. Stop. Now tucks it away. He's got 5. He's got more. He's got the first down, and he's at the 20-yard line. One of Taylor's main strengths is his ability to scramble. At that time, he got around the Homewood pursuit, got outside, and it's going to be first down and 10 with 9:56 to go in the first quarter. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with more. Timeout. So now it's first and 10 at the 20-yard line, and Gadsden driving, as I'm sure Gerald Gann wanted to stop this momentum as early as he possibly could. Tigers have controlled the ball since the opening kickoff and have done it mostly in the air, though Taylor had one long scramble. Massey in motion, a trap right up the middle. Not too much there for Callaway. In fact, no gain at all, maybe a half yard at best. There's some hard hitting on going in the center of that line. And there's Chris Rebels, number 64. We've talked about him before. At 5'9", 165 pounds. Not the prototype nose guard, but certainly one of the better ones in high school football in this state. He's very effective. Second down and 10. A slot right for the Tigers. Wide gaps in their linemen there on the right side, if you notice. Taylor has time. Pursued by Gray. Throws a wobbly pass, but a complete pass. All the way down the 15-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 5 yards. As coming up with a catch was Massey, just simply doing it down and out. And all they're doing, basically, Dave, is reading Homewood's coverages and going to an open spot.
Right. Looks like they're throwing underneath the zone. We hadn't had a man get behind us in the defensive secondary. Down here on the 15, it really shortens the field, only having 15 yards and then the 10 yards in the end zone. So they can't really run any long patterns. Here's where Homewood usually bows its back and does its defensive job.
A big early third down play right here. 3rd and 5 from the 15-yard line. Callaway doesn't get outside. Jody Brandt with a big tackle right there. Help from Morgan and Smith as Brandt makes the stop in the 14-yard line, and a kicking situation now for the Tigers. They might be looking for the field goal. As Gary Benson coming on the field right now. He was a tailback last year for the Tigers, as you'll see seeing him lining up momentarily. But an injury has forced him to limit his contribution to just kicking in 1986. He's got to line it up at the 20. He's got to move it a little bit to the left. A 30-yard field goal attempt. The snap is down. The kick is on the way. It is high enough. It's long enough. And it is good. A fine drive that time for the Tigers results in a 30-yard field goal for Jerry Benson. And as you see, the score was 7:55 to go in the first quarter. A nice drive for Gadsden. You have to give them credit.
Sure do. It looks like they just took the ball down the field. Homewood usually stops their opponents, especially here in the state playoffs, without a score. 3 points is a lot better than 6, but now Homewood's just going to have to go with their game plan on offense, hopefully get some good field position so they can do anything they want to do.
Very early in the football game, how important is it for Homewood to come right back with a good drive?
Well, I think it's very important, seeing how Gadsden usually keeps it real close and wins in the latter part of the game. Here, I hope we can at least get 1 or 2 first downs if we don't drive it to the score, to try to quiet some of this gas it looks like there's a lot of people out here on our side. Homewood's got a real good contingency over on our side of the field, but haven't given them much to cheer about yet.
A 14-play drive that went 65 yards, ate up 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and the 30-yard field goal for Benson. Avery will kick off. Back deep up to the top for Homewood. Watching it bounce to the sideline is picked up there by Jeff Harris. Harris spins and stumbles to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. And that is where the Patriots will take over. Tackle on the play by Cedric Holstick, the offensive running backs. It'll be first down and 10 with 7:49 to go in the first quarter. And we'll see what the Patriots can do here offensively. Up front for Homewood, Greg Fine, Mike Brill, Mike Turley, Billy Ralph, and William Owens. Doug Gannis, a quarterback, with Eric Roy and Robert Porter, the running backs. And it's Porter who carries. 2 hands on the football and gets up to the 29-yard line. Tripped up that time on the play by the outside linebacker, David Owen. Wide receiver in the game for Homewood is John Durrow, 87. Bobby Greer coming in. He'll be the other wide receiver on this play. And Brian Gennard, number 85, is a tight end. Gadsden up front as Larry Baker, J.D. McDuffie, Drew Howard, and Duncan Castleberry. Andy Roberts, Ferndale Davis, David Owen, and Bobby Avery, the linebackers. 2nd and 6. I formation. Gad barking signals the safety screen to John Durrow, but he has nothing out there and will get maybe a yard or so. Quick call that time on the screen, and actually Durrow was 1-on-3.
Right, he just didn't have a blocker out in front of him. Maybe we're trying to set up that play so that later in the game we can run the flea flicker with John throwing the pass off that. You know, Eufaula's line is very big. They average over 200 pounds and run the 4-4 similar to Eufaula. Let's just hope we can knock those big boys out of the way and get some holes opened up.
Greg Cascio left and John Durrow right on 3rd and 5. A blitz, and Porter takes the handoff, and he is hit by Owen. Owen came from the outside linebacker spot. You can see him stunting, and he is the guy they like to send in on the blitz because he's got the good speed. It's going to be 4th down and 5, and Brian Gennard will be on for his first punt attempt of the night. Gennard so far in the season averaging 35 yards a kick, but he didn't kick in all the Homewood games. He had a nerve problem in his leg, and as a result, had to call upon Chris Gray for some help. Gennard out of your screen is awaiting at his own 17. As you saw him got it away. 5 men back for Gadsden. The ball will take a Gadsden bounce and will be down at about the 41-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over. They lead. 5:36 to go in the first quarter. The Tigers of Gadsden with their second possession tonight. We've got movement all over the place, and a flag will fall. Ferndale Davis, the backup flanker, you saw him move at the bottom of your screen after Chris Gray of Homewood had tried a little jump, and Davis got fooled and started to break. So the referees are conferring right now, and we'll see what decision they will come up with. This is the state championship weekend all over Alabama. Now, Homewood is going to be called for a 5-yard penalty. It's going to be offside against the Patriots. Gerald Gann doesn't like the call and wants to know about it. I'm not sure if a Homewood player breaks that plane, if they're allowed there. I thought they were allowed to get back.
Yeah, as long as they get back. He must have touched the player, but who knows?
Man in motion. Massey. Taylor forced down the pocket, on the go throws. Massey can't hang on. He was wide open at the Homewood 45. Pressure that time from Eric Roy, the right defensive tackle for the Homewood Patriots.
They're flooding, Tim, they're flooding this side, our side of the zone here. And when we play a zone defense, if you get more than 1 or 2 receivers in the zone, somebody's going to be open. So we might see, last week we had some single coverage and double coverage on Andre Ware, Eufaula's great receiver. We might have to make an adjustment if they keep going to one side of the zone.
I'm certain you'll see some kind of adjustment out of Wayne Sheets, the Homewood defensive coordinator, because simply they're throwing really at will. Their receivers are getting open. And Taylor will hand off straight ahead. No gain that time for Callaway. He is met at the 45-yard line by Chris Rebels. Right up the middle, and there was nothing there.
It's going to be tough tough to run in the middle of the Homewood defense, but you know the Gadsden coaches have to keep Homewood guessing a little bit. You got to keep your linemen honest. If not, they'll just pin back their ears and rush the passer. We've been getting a decent rush. He's just elusive back there and been scrambling away.
3rd down and 5 with 4:25 to go in the first quarter. Gadsden up by 3. Taylor will look left and will throw that way. He's hit as he throws, and as a result, he overthrows Massey. Eric Roy with a big hit, and Taylor down. He is in some pain right now, and Coach Vince DiLorenzo is going to have to come out and look at him. That was a big, big hit by Eric Roy. Got the Homewood sideline a little bit excited about that. And Taylor, of course, a very fine athlete who has led the Tigers to some great comfort behind wins with some long touchdown passes in their playoff games. Right now, a timeout. 4:16 to go in the first quarter. Gadsden on top. Helped out to his sideline. Apparently okay. And that's good to see. You don't want to see a great player who has played well all year long be knocked out of the championship game.
He will be tippy-toeing next time he's back in the lined up for a pass, and that's great that we've got him thinking about us.
The punting situation whistled dead as Fred Sinkton got it away, but we had whistles all over the place before the ball was snapped. They're conferring right now. It appears to be against the Tigers, and it is. Might be delay a game. The indication is illegal procedure against the Tigers. Sinkton back to punt. Doug Gann back to receive. And has been the practice all year long. Homewood just looking for field position, not looking for any kind of a return. Sinkton gets it away. Homewood was looking for the block, so Gann will let it bounce. And it takes a Homewood bounce, going to go out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. They will spot it there. The Patriots will take over 1st down and 10. So Homewood with an opportunity on their second offensive possession to try to establish their ground game. It was a 23-yard punt for Sinkton, and so far both teams have not been able to pin the other down deep inside their territory.
Now look for us to come out running. We had a great running play on 1st down. We'll probably keep the ball on the ground for 3 plays.
The option to Eric Roy, and he hurdles out to about the 42-yard line. Homewood's option very effective for a couple of reasons. One is that Roy has been able to keep defenses honest all year. The other, I think, is that Doug Gann is a great faker. He hands on the football very well, and as a result, the defenses are usually confused. And, of course, Gann every now and then can get outside, as he did in one game. 76-yard touchdown run, though he does not have great speed. And keeps it on. Great fake again. Turns it upfield and is very close to the 1st down.
Tim, I tell you, you nailed it that time. Everybody in the stadium thought it stopped for no gain. Doug tucks the ball away and real close to the 1st down. Just real intelligent player and hardly does anything to hurt you.
You have to have both ends on the fake, though, too, because you have to give Roy some credit because he's the one that's going into the line and has to make it like he has the football. But Gann does a great job with that and is able to read the defense very well. That time he saw that the dive wasn't going to be there. As you see, he got the 1st down because of it. Just came around the corner and started running north to south instead of side to side and gets the 1st down. It's marked out about the 47-yard line of Homewood. Greg Cascio coming in the game, as you see at the very top of your screen. Bobby Greer will lead. Gadsden took the opening kickoff, marched down for their score. Homewood been forced to punt once. Gadsden had a punt on their second possession. They play the 4-4 defense, as David told you before. You see it there. And Gann looking to throw. Gann forced out of the pocket, lets it fly, and it's going to be incomplete. Greg Cascio trying to come back to the football, but he was guarded there by John Massey, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Tim, our receivers were open there for a second, but defensive end for Gadsden came down, made Doug take a little bit more time, and it stretched the play out. So who was that? Castleberry, looks like he's got a lot of pursuit pretty quick. He's going to be back in our backfield, and you know, this pretty much shows how the run sets up the pass. We've got to establish that running game, and then catch them by surprise with a drop back pass.
As the year has gone on, Homewood has gone to the rollout more than the straight drop. So they straight drop here, and Gann has to get rid of it. Does so. Doyle's got it, and then dropped it. It's incomplete. He is nailed from behind by the left quarterback, Kelvin Bradford. And it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Another good rush that time for the Tigers. Larry Baker, the left defensive end, providing pressure. So Homewood looking at 3rd and long.
Well, those defenders are really rushing in there. I don't know if we have a middle screen in our offensive formations, but really the middle of the field was wide open that time. They just came running through real quick. Line's going to have to do a better job of holding them off Doug so he can see the open receiver.
2:44 left in quarter number 1. 2 receivers left. Gann has more time, but tucks it under and is tackled. He's brought down at about the 45-yard line, a loss of 2, and it's Castleberry on the tackle. And give him credit, he did not let Gann turn it outside, and when nobody was open, Gann decided to run for it. 4th down and 12, and Brian Gennard to punt for the 2nd time tonight. Impressive defensive stand at midfield. The pass coverage for the Gadsden Tigers. And once again, they have 5 people back, including Massey, along with Avery, awaiting the punt from Gennard. Gennard with a high spiral that will bounce at the 30. As you see it there coming into your screen, it's going to roll down close to the 20, where it will die. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Brian Gennard got good hang time on that punt. And it was a hang time of 3.5. 3.4, and a 35-yard punt it was, so a better effort just inside the 20-yard line. As you see Homewood lining up for their defense, which is a good defense, but they've given up a lot of yardage this year.
You know, they give it up from 20 to 20 and then sort of bow their backs and think they must get together in the huddle and say this is as far as it goes. Let's hope we can stop them here so we'll get that field position we gained last possession.
Callaway gets off tackle for a couple. Taken down by Jody Brandt. And the key for Homewood's defense up front, guys like Jim Bullock, number 74, who is replacing Brian Boss, who is hurt and unable to play this week. Those guys tie up the blockers. That's why Brandt and Zaragoza are able to make those tackles.
Like Jim stepped in last week against Eufaula and did a great job. Didn't make that many tackles, but he held his position well and plugged up his hole.
2nd and 7 from the 21. Off tackle, Avery. Avery spins and finally takes it down. A good open field tackle that time for Homewood. Once again by Jody Brandt. Avery's out to the 25, a pickup of 4. They're going to mark it now at the 27. So apparently Avery fell forward on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and call it 2. 33 seconds and the clock running in the first quarter. It would be imperative for Homewood, with the way Gadsden was able to throw before, to try to shut down the ground game, because if Gadsden's able to run a balanced attack, then it's going to be a long night for the Patriots. Taylor calling signals and hands off. Avery not be able to get it because Chris Reeves right there. Avery hit the line of scrimmage for no gain, and that will be the last play of the first quarter. And when we come back, Homewood will be looking to receive a punt on 4th and 2. It's the state 5A championship right here. The band back from their Macy's Day appearance and tour of the Big Apple, cheering on the Homewood Patriots. And right now the Patriots need some help. They're down 3-0 with Doug Gann back to receive a punt from Fred Sinkton. There's Sinkton getting away. He's a big man and boots a high punt. Not great yardage. It's going to roll out of bounds at about the 43. Neither team can complain so far, Dave, about field position.
No, you know, it looks like they're kind of feeling each other out here in the first quarter. Not much exciting going on. I tell you, that last defensive hole for Homewood was imperative. Once you get the home team starting to rack up the first downs and move the ball down the field, it does something to them, gives them added confidence that maybe they didn't have coming into the game. And just hope we can get our running game going here. Our passing hadn't been too successful. Doug hadn't had enough time.
The man on the go is John Doro, heading toward the bottom of your screen. And Doug Gann gives to Porter on the draw. Look at the room he's got. Porter off to the races inside Tiger territory down to the 40-yard line. That play has worked well all year, and Robert Porter, who has gained almost 1,300 yards coming into this game, has his best carry of the night.
Boy, Robert sure doesn't waste any time picking up that hole and going north to south. It's just runs with a lot of determination. Isn't the fastest back that you'd like to have, but he is quick and picked up a great play that time. That pass set up the draw play. Great call by the coaches.
6 touchdowns this year for Porter, averaging 5 yards a carry, and he gets through inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line for 3 more. And he has been the workhorse, so to speak, of the backfield, carrying the ball 249 times on the season. Does not have breakaway speed, but has size. And you would think maybe with some additional pounds could help some college program somewhere. Under 11 minutes to go. First half of play. Again, Doro on his horse. And on the option, Gadd, look at the room he has. Gadd cuts back, and he should have cut forward and is tackled at the 31-yard line. He goes forward. He definitely gets the first down. He still might have it as it is, but it's going to be close.
That 4-4 defense really is stacking up in the middle. I think you've seen on a couple of plays, Doug's had plenty of room on the option. If he could just be maybe two steps faster, he could get to the sideline and really pick up some big yards on that option play.
Right now the officials are calling it just short by an inch or so. So Homewood has to go and get it on this play. I formation, Roy the first back, and Roy carries on the option, gets forward inside the 30-yard line. Call it the 26, a first down. So Eric Roy, who this year averaged over 4 yards a carry, gets the first down there, and Homewood in business on the go. On the last drive, they were able to run the ball out to midfield, and then 3 straight passes forced them to punt.
Just mixing it up real well on the ground here, going outside, inside the draw play. Tell you, Eric Roy, you can just call him Mr. Determination. Just a lot of drive for Eric, and he really does a good job in the middle of that line.
Ryan Gennard, the tight end, goes in motion. And Porter, with a carry, doesn't find room and nudges forward for maybe a yard or so. Ferndale Davis, the inside linebacker on the tackle there with help from Owen and Baker. Gadsden's defense has also been one that bends but doesn't break this year. And you have to give them a lot of credit. 4 and 5 could be in the playoffs, and then they've just been able to put it all together. And one time this year, they were 1 and 5. They won their first game, lost 5 in a row, but Coach DiLorenzo and his Tigers never panicked, never gave up, rallied their season. I guess that's why some of the high school administrators don't mind having teams under 500 in the playoffs. Gadd with time on the rod, but loses the time. Got away from one, got away from another, slips and throws, and it's going to be knocked down. Almost intercepted by Kelvin Bradford at about the 10-yard line. And pressure galore on Doug Gadd. Bobby Avery, number 41, blew into the backfield and had a great opportunity for the sack, but missed it. It's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Tim, there was 5 Gadsden defenders back in secondary coverage that time. That leaves 6, and all 6 of them were coming full speed ahead. Doug did a great job of eluding the first tackler and almost made a mistake, but brings the ball back to the line of scrimmage and need to pick up a couple of yards in order for Steve Gray to come on and have a field goal attempt if we don't pick up the first down.
Doug Gadd completed almost 62% of his passes so far this year, but he's 1 out of 4 tonight. And hasn't completed 1 the last 3. Under pressure, throws to Porter. He's got it, dropped it. It's going to be incomplete. He had it, but was hit by Bobby Avery from behind and lost the ball. Gadd kind of floated it out there. If he could have zipped it in there, Porter might have had the time to put it away, but the pass was so slow in getting there, it really didn't give him the time to tuck it away. And now Steve Gray's on for a field goal attempt. The ball is just inside the 25, so he's going to line it up at about the 31. It will be a 41-yard attempt. He's on the right hash mark, so he's got to bring it back a little bit left. Doug Gadd will hold. Good snap. On the way, but will it get there? It is going to be short and just wide to the left. In fact, it nicked the crossbar. on the way down. Almost, but not good enough. And Homewood is denied points on this drive, and the Tigers will take over first and 10 on the 20.
Boy, that's, you really don't know how important 1 or 2 yards is. If we could have picked up maybe 3 yards, Steve would have kicked it through. That one hit the crossbar. He got a big leg into it, had plenty of protection, and going to be a low-scoring game, it looks like. We're just going to have to stop them here and try to get something before halftime.
A spread formation for the Tigers, and again, look at the wide gaps between their linemen. Taylor will drop back. They're going to set the screen, and they set it up well. Callaway with blockers. Callaway avoids Charlie Gordon's tackle. Look at him go. He's to the 40, out to the 47-yard line. Great call on first and 10. Homewood looking for the big play. Had Chris Zaragoza blitzing, and they caught the blitz with a screen. A gain of 27, and Gadsden out of the hole with good field position.
Tim, that time again, they sent all the receivers to the left side of the field, and the only back came out to the right. So it looks like Gadsden was setting up this play, and a big play it was, longest play of the night. Set up well because everybody was flowing left, came back right, and had a couple of hosses in front of him.
Eric Roy came back from his tackle spot to help out there and bring down the running back. And Callaway on the toss sweep gets outside and gets inside Homewood territory. Bobby Greer at the 47, able to shut him down. Under 8 minutes to go in half number 1. Gadsden on the march. It was a pickup of about 5 yards, called 2nd and 5 from the Homewood 47. Call it 2nd and 4, actually. They have to get down to about the 43. Back to that same tight formation that they like to run. One wide receiver playing off the shoulder of one of the 2 tight ends. To the outside, coming outside is Derek Hewley. Inside the 40. He's got the first down. Tigers on a roll. With 7:20 to go here in the second quarter. They have controlled the football game. On the delay, Avery outside. Avery off to the races and into the end zone. Tackle right side, a great block by the right tackle, number 60, Andrew Roberts. And the 6'2", 210-pound junior Bobby Avery did the rest. Gadsden's Tigers up 9-0.
Misdirection play to the right side of the Patriot defense, and just perfect execution on Gadsden part. They've really got an impressive-looking team here. We're going to just have to shut out this momentum, or things could get worse. But Homewood boys had a lot of character, and maybe we can bring it out here.
Avery on for the conversion. Or check that. That's Benson. He drills it. And Gadsden has taken a 10-0 lead. 6:58 to go in half number 1. Size. A lot of coaches like to have it. Some like to go with quicker, smaller players. But tonight, the size of the offensive and defensive lines have given the Tigers the edge.
I think so. The real physical, along with being big, and pretty much controlling the line of scrimmage. And that's what every coach would love to do. Gadsden is doing the job right here. You know, Homewood's had its share of going up against big teams, but not as strong, as big as Gadsden looks here tonight.
Avery to kick off. 3 people deep, and Bobby Greer will come into your screen with a return. Greer to his 20, looking for a hole, picks his way to the 25, and a host of Tigers form a pile there, and that's where Homewood's going to take over. An 80-yard drive that went 1 minute and 45 seconds, 4 plays, the 40-yard touchdown run for Avery, the scoring play, and the big play, which got the Tigers from their own 20 out to their own 47, the screen pass to Rodney Callaway. And a test of character, as you alluded to right now for Homewood. They have been a good team driving late in the first half, and they've got 6:40 and change right now. On the eye, the pitch back to Porter. Cuts, and is headlocked by Drew Howard. The defensive tackle on the right side with help there from Castleberry, number 85. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
You know, Tim, talking about Homewood's defense, all year long they've been successful because they have not given up the big play. Here tonight, we've got the screen play that got them in scoring position, then one missed tackle. The big plays is what we're going to have to watch out for the rest of the night. That sounds like a statement that anyone would make, but Homewood's defense has to stop them and just make them work the ball and don't give them anything cheap.
5:55 to go in the half, and Gann rolling again. He is hit and nailed by Bobby Avery. Back to the 16-yard line. And Avery just shot out of his linebacker spot and nailed Doug Gann. It is going to be a loss of about 8 yards. Third down and 18 upcoming. He is very, very quick when he reads and blitzes.
Looks like they might send him every time. You know, Doug just didn't have a chance. He couldn't get out of his way. He was coming so hard and dropped him for a loss. I think you'll see us keep the clock moving. If we could just keep it 10-0, maybe we could regroup at halftime.
On third and 18, Gann will go right up the middle of Roy. He goes nowhere. Meeting him in the middle of the line, J.D. McDuffie. And Homewood is in a punting situation.
Maybe Brian can get off a big boomer here. It looks like Gadsden's been set up for the return on these punts all night. They've got 5 men back, and so far we've gotten lucky by the ball's been bouncing. Took a Homewood bounce once, but really need to get out of our own backyard here on the 20-yard. Maybe we can get off 30, 35-yarder and hold them off.
Back to punt will be Brian Jannard with 4:37 to go in the quarter. Jannard has had 2 punts tonight, one of 27, one of 35 yards. This one will bounce to about the 46-yard line where Jody Brand will down it, and that's where the Tigers will take over. So Gadsden in control of the football game right now, and you have to wonder what's happening on the far sideline. The Homewood sideline, a very quiet place as you look at it. Certainly they are not out of the football game, and they have plenty of time to come back, but at worst, they want to go into the locker room down 10-0.
Right, if we could stop them here, it just stopped the momentum. We get the ball starting with the first at the second half. Maybe we could do something with it. Look for a lot of misdirection plays here.
Slot right, and the pitch back goes to Callaway. Callaway met in the backfield and taken down by Chris Gray all the way at the 37-yard line. This is going to be a loss of about 8 yards, so maybe the momentum boost that the Patriots have been looking for. It's going to be second down, and call it 18.
Well, we've got about 3.5 minutes left here. Don't think Gadsden will be going for the pass up 10 points if they can establish that running game. It just does a lot more damage to a team when you run it down their throat rather than use trick plays or go up top in the air.
One receiver split left. That's Larry Baker. Now they're going to call timeout. Gadsden didn't like the formation they were in. And we'll take timeout now with 3:27 to go in the quarter. Homewood can force the Tigers to punt here. They'd still have enough time to get downfield at least for a possible field goal attempt to get. And certainly that is one area that, as we mentioned before, that they've been very strong in all season long.
Right, specialty teams and just getting points here. You said it, hit it right on the head. Having 3 points is a lot better than 0, although it cuts the lead to 7. It just gives the boys a little bit of confidence. You see Coach Sheets there trying to rev them up here. We had a big play. If we can just try to expand on that and hold them, think we might have some good field position.
Coach Sheets was one of the assistant coaches back in 1974 on the Homewood championship team.
Right. You know, he's just, ever since he's been at Homewood, he's been the defensive mind, defensive coordinator. He was head coach for 1 year. I think he enjoyed being the defensive coordinator more because that's his game, and he really does a great job at it.
Taylor comes out in second, and the scoreboard says 19, and he wants to throw. And he's got time, but he's forced up the middle. Puts the ball away, gets out to about the 47, where Zaragoza able to bring him down there, chasing him from behind on a good hit. David Taylor is a very agile quarterback and does a good job of getting out of the pocket. And by bringing it up to the 46, it's going to be third down and 10 now, and they're within striking distance of trying to convert this.
Now, Tim, we've got something a little bit different. It's kind of hard to say something when you're down 10 points. We've had the luxury of being ahead in most every game, made our job a lot easier. Let's just hope we can pull together here and pull it out. 2:45
left. Man in motion, top of the screen is Castleberry. A big target for Taylor. Taylor, the draw, right up the middle. Callaway does not get outside because Zaragoza is there. Rebels forced the handoff, to be a little early from what they wanted, and Zaragoza read the play and came up big with a tackle. Zaragoza on the season trailed his fellow linebacker Jody Brandt by only 2 tackles. Brandt with 120 and Zaragoza with 118 coming into the game. 4th down and 10. Fred Sinkton to boot it away, awaiting at his 30. A low snap, and you see Sinkton there. Had time. Homewood did not come strong with a rush, but Sinkton did not get a good kick. It's going to bounce inside the 40. It's going to roll dead at the 36-yard line. As Castleberry able to down it there, so Homewood has a chance. They have to go a total of 64 yards in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Sinkton's not had a good night with his punting. 3 punts now, 23, 29, and 19 yards. As we've seen in a couple of other ball games, David, if Homewood's able to go down and score before halftime, it creates the tone of the second half, and that's one tone that they've been able to use to their success. The draw to Porter, but a flag down as Porter met and wrestled down as right in the middle of the line, J.D. McDuffie read the play very well and was not fooled at all, but we'll see what the flag will indicate. Flag was thrown by the right side judge, and it's going to be an illegal procedure call against Homewood.
No, you mentioned McDuffie there for Gadsden. He is a big fella weighing over 250 pounds. He's a major college prospect. Folks down here say they look for him to play in the SEC, and we saw Coach Pat Dye from Auburn down checking out the game tonight. There's a couple of Gadsden players he's really looking at.
Of course, Homewood does not really have the major college prospect on the team. It is a very balanced team in every sense of the word. 2nd and 12 will be the situation for Homewood. Ball marked on their 33-yard line. 2 receivers split right. One left is Brian Gennard, and they'll run the option. Back to Porter, but he's got nowhere to go. He's going to try to get outside, but barrel down. The left outside linebacker, David Owen, did not have anyone that laid a shoulder pad on him, so as a result, he had plenty of time to get a good coverage angle and kept Porter to no gain. 3rd down and 12.
Tim, looks like Gadsden's a lot like Homewood. They pursue to the ball very well. Maybe we can go to some misdirection. I've never seen as many orange jerseys converging on Robert Porter, or as many defensive jerseys converging on Robert all season long. Just they find the ball, find it fast, and do something about it.
35 seconds to go. The clock is going, and Gam will throw the screen to John Doro. Doro waits for a blocker, cuts inside, but doesn't have much at all. And Avery comes by with another big hit. Man alive, can he hit when he gets in the open field. And Homewood's in a punting situation, and they're going to let the clock run down, and I doubt if they'll even snap the football on this one. They're going to go in the locker room down 10-0. And be thankful for that, because if Gadsden is a little sharper offensively, it could be more. That's where we stand. 24 minutes of football over, and certainly you have to give credit to the Gadsden Tigers. They have done exactly what they've wanted to do to take this 10-point lead.
Right, you know, they've completely controlled the football game, both on offense and defense. They've passed the ball well and run the ball. Homewood will just have to make some adjustments in halftime. We did the same thing to Eufaula last week, just completely control the first half, and Eufaula came back with 14 points, so it can be done, and it's not a lost cause whatsoever. We get the ball back, maybe we can put a quick one on the board and hang tough with it. Gadsden not taking anything away from Gadsden. They've been doing the job.
And, of course, Gadsden had 2 very big plays in the first half. The 27-yard screen pass to Callaway. That got them on their touchdown drive out to the 47-yard line. And then the 40-yard run by Avery has really been the backbreaker of this first half of play.
Right. Big plays tell the story. You know, we could afford it to be down 3-0, 10-0, got the momentum going, and just can't afford the big plays. We had a man on the 40, about the 35-yard line that had a chance to make a tackle, but he's just a strong runner for Gadsden, and stiff-armed him down, and he was off to the races.
It's been all Gadsden so far as you watch the Patriot Band start to set up. And when we come back, we'll run down the stats and get you set for half number. A crescent moon on a cool evening in Alabama, and we're getting set for the second half of the 5A state championship where the Gadsden Tigers lead the Homewood Patriots by a count of 10-0. Hi, everybody. This is Tim Roy along with David Vaughn. And in the first half, the Tigers were able to dominate the line of scrimmage. That's why they're on top.
Right. We moved the ball one time on Gadsden, got it down into about the 24-yard line, and a drop pass killed the drive. So we've proved we can do it. Just have to stick together and maybe get a better kickoff return here so we can gain some field position.
As you see, Homewood will receive to start the second half. Jerry Benson with a 30-yard field goal in the first quarter. And Bill Avery with a 40-yard touchdown run in the second quarter. That's been all the scoring. We've got 24 minutes of football left. Gadsden has been the team that's coming from behind all year to win in the fourth quarter. But right now they're leading. Had a little bit of a delay waiting for both bands to get off the field. And while we do, we'll have time to run down some of the stats. 5 first downs for Gadsden. They didn't move the ball that well either, but had a good drive in the second quarter thanks to 2 very big plays, a 27-yard screen pass and a 40-yard run for the touchdown by Avery. On the ground, Homewood 41 yards, Gadsden 71. In the air, Homewood 2 out of 5 for 10 yards, Gadsden 5 out of 8 for 49. So in total yardage, it's been all Tigers 120 to 51. Penalties tonight, 2 on Homewood, 1 on Gadsden. Robert Porter for Homewood and Eric Roy have combined for a total of 40 yards on the ground. They have to get more if the Patriots are going to win. Bobby Greer will be deep to receive the kick, along with Robbie Melvin and Jeff Harris. Kicking off will be Bobby Avery. He's 41 on your screen, hands on hips. The left center part of your screen, the Homewood Patriot band is just about set. And like we said at the top of the telecast, the line of scrimmage and a balanced attack. Keys for Homewood's offense. And they have 24 minutes to establish that and get back into this football game. The second half begins with a line drive kick. Greer at his 10. Waits for the wedge, trying to find a hole, and gets out to the 25. It's a 15-yard return. Gadsden special teams tonight have been containing well. It seems the first 5 or 10 yards are there, but after that, the big play isn't.
Right, and all year long, Homewood's been a patient offense. I don't think you'll see the Patriots scramble into a mad passing attack. We've got 2 more quarters of football left. Got relatively good field position on our 25. Let's get the ground game started and get something going here.
John Doerr, the man on the go to the bottom of the screen. Roy on the option, finds nothing. Drew Howard, 73 there, along with Andy Roberts, number 60, and Avery in on the tackle as well. It's going to be second down, a loss of about a foot. So second and more than 10. 11:15 to go in the third quarter. We're just underway. And Homewood has had trouble establishing their offense all night long. Mike Turley, the center, gets over the ball. Billy Ralph and Mike Brill up there with him. William Owens and Greg Fine, the tackles. Option, Gann to the 30. 35, fumble the football. Picked up by Avery, and Gadsden has the football. Avery still going, and will be taken down all the way back to the 45-yard line. But the turnover has given Gadsden the ball in Homewood territory, and the first break of the second half belongs to the Tigers.
Very unfortunate for Homewood. We had something going there. It looks like they're giving the quarterback that second option on the option. Doug just took a big hit, coughed the football up, and didn't look like number 41 for Gadsden wanted to go down. He's the fellow that scored the touchdown, wasn't he?
Avery went 40 yards for a touchdown in a similar situation in the second quarter. And the Tigers have had the momentum all night. It continues to be that way here in the second half. Taylor will throw a strike right down the middle to Baker, and he's inside the 30. Gag tackle finally at the 25-yard line. A 20-yard pickup and a great pass for David Taylor, and a flag down late in the play. 10:13, the clock is stopped here in the third quarter while they straighten it out. I'd like to remind you that, of course, we've been with you all season long thanks to the work of our fine crew, and we'll run down all their names at the end of our broadcast once again. The penalty is apparently against the Patriots.
Well, that'll give us a break here in the playoffs. We've been penalty prone. This looks like it's going to be a big one, first big one of the night. Both teams playing with a lot of discipline. Maybe this will kill this drive.
Penalty against the Tigers will bring it back to the 41-yard line. When we come back, it will be second down for Gadsden. 10:13 to go, third quarter. Didn't like that call at all because it was a needless call. Personal foul after the big game. On the handoff, Hewley gets outside and gets inside the 40 to the 38. Tackled on the play by Robert Morgan with help from Eric Roy and Jody Brandt. And it's going to be second. It was second and 25, I believe, or will be second and 25 right now.
Charlie Gordon did a good job at his defensive end position of turning the ball upfield. They made their breakaway run on an outside run. If we can keep them in the middle, enough Homewood people are going to get to the ball and kill a big play.
Clock moving, and Taylor moving. Straightens, slips, throws on the run, incomplete. Baker, the intended receiver, the Gadsden sideline wanted an interference call, but they won't get it.